Hey, welcome back to the channel. Brendan here. I'm excited to share this plugin with you guys that I've been checking out. This is from the team at WordPress VIP. This is called Remote Data Blocks. You can find it at remotedatablocks.com. This is a free plugin that's available. You can try it out in the WordPress Playground. You can try it out right here by clicking the Try It on Playground button. You can also just download it as a zip file and upload it to a website. You can try it out on local or try it out on a live domain. They've got some pretty extensive documentation that you can check out for just quick starting, for core concepts, and for actually extending the plugin itself through actual, coding and development practices, and some sort of tutorials and some actual AI documentation for feeding it into like a cursor or other AI development sources. But it's a really interesting plugin that lets you add API extensions to the WordPress block editor and lets you sort of loop over external APIs within the block editor. So if you want to query loop over something like Airtable data source in the block editor, you can do that by connecting the block editor with Airtable and looping over that data. And you could do the same with, your Shopify data or your GitHub account or Google Sheets or Salesforce. And those are the primary integrations that are provided by default that don't require really additional code. But if you want to extend it, there are some helpful documents that that are in the docs here that will allow you to create custom blocks in your code editor of choice. So that if you want to extend the plugin, you can do that to create custom blocks for any API that you wish. I was doing that with the Keanu Reeves API where he says "whoa" in every movie, so I was able to create custom blocks that looped over that data for custom APIs. So it's you can get started pretty easily with their documentation. So it's a pretty cool plugin to be able to get external API data directly in the block editor. The other cool thing is you can do it inline, so it's not just like a query loop that you're used to. You can actually do it inline within like a block of text, which is cool. So anyway, I recommend just coming to the website and checking it out. You can just try it directly in the playground, and that will open it up in your browser. So I plan on doing a series of these videos to check out basically how to connect up a couple of these sources and making a couple custom blocks with various APIs to see how to like authenticate it and how to connect that up with some custom blocks and how to query loop over that. So this will be first in a couple of videos, I guess. And so anyway, let's just get started. This will just be an intro to how it works. So basically, I'd recommend just coming to the website and reading through some of the stuff on how to get started, understanding the core concepts. This plugin taps into various APIs that already exist within WordPress, like the block binding API. So understanding how that works is very helpful. So definitely come and check out the website. And it's a nice looking website. They just redid it. So come check it out. And you can read it in light or dark mode, of course. Real quick, thank you to Big Scoots for sponsoring this video. Big Scoots specializes in managed WordPress hosting, whether you need hosting for your e-commerce website, enterprise WordPress hosting, or just hosting for your small business WordPress website. Big Scoots has you covered with some of the fastest WordPress hosting, secured website hosting, best support in the game, really. If you're sick of struggling with slow load times, missed sales on your website, it's time to level up your hosting game with Big Scoots. If you wanted to save money on your annual plan or monthly plan, you can use the code O'Connell WP on your monthly plan or O'Connell WP annual to save 98% on 2 months on your plan. So you can check that out on bigscoots.com and use that code. All right, let's get back to the video. Thank you to Big Scoots for sponsor. So anyway, it definitely helps to just come jump right in. So just to kind of see what we're working with, we're just going to open it up in Playground. So if you haven't checked out WordPress Playground, it is pretty cool too, right? So it's just spinning up a full instance of WordPress directly in our browser here, right? So we kind of have like two URLs, right? So here we have an example of the remote data blocks directly in front of us. We have an example that's connected to an example API that shows events for an upcoming conference. And so the idea is that if the data within that external API changes, this data within the blue background text, that data would actually change within the block editor, because that data is coming from an API that's not actually within the block editor itself. It's, that data is stored outside of the block editor in that API. So the idea here is that you can edit stuff in line, and you get this little extra formatting thing here to select block bindings. So you can select something from the API to say, say you want to select that, or you want to find that. So you can select stuff in line within the text itself. So that's pretty cool that you can do that with inline. And of course, we don't actually have access to this API, so we can't make changes to itself, but you get the idea. So you can do that inline. And the other cool thing that you get with this is a custom block itself. So again, we didn't have to come in here and add any custom blocks. We're just in the playground itself, but we have access to a custom block here called conference event. Right, so I can add that, and then I can choose which event I want to display. I can choose that. I can see all the different events in the API here, and I can let's just choose all of them, I guess, for now, and save that. And then you can, if you have multiple patterns, we probably don't, we just have one. But there now we see all of them in the loop, basically, right? And so now if I open the structure panel, we see our template here, but really we see one item that's being looped, right? And it's being looped from that external API, right? And so now we see the title of our event. It's basically functioning like a query loop, but it's query looping externally, right? So we could, I don't know, just quickly just add a little bit of styling just to see the difference of these. Right, so we see all the different events in that external API. So hopefully you get the idea that we're accessing data that's stored outside of WordPress from this external API. So that's basically the idea of these remote data blocks. So that's basically all I wanted to cover in this first intro video of the concept behind how this works and why this might be useful. So, future videos we'll kind of go over other sources and why this might be useful, particularly something like an Airtable database, right, where the storing live data that, if it gets updated in that Airtable, it will then be reflected on your WordPress website in real time where it's updated. Now, keep in mind this plugin also comes with smart object caching that should be able to cache your data and make it performant. It's not constantly fetching data. And then the other thing to keep in mind is that you can extend this, right? I mentioned at the beginning, you can come in and extend these blocks to create custom blocks and to connect to any API that you wish. So I think that this is a really interesting concept moving forward to really enhance WordPress as a full-blown content management system that can connect to other CMS, really to extend WordPress as the content hub for everything for clients that, they need to bring their Salesforce data in, they need to bring Airtable data in, they need to bring their Google Sheet data in, they need to bring their Shopify data in. Well, WordPress is now the conduit that can provide that connection to, make sure everything is well connected together. So I think something like this is really promising and is a really interesting idea moving forward for keeping modern web development moving forward. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share in this video, looking, just really an intro at remote data blocks. So, in future ones, we'll be connecting to other sources and, eventually be jumping into Cursor and pulling in looking at the Git repo, which has some AI README docs that will help with extending this plugin and getting, some custom blocks for connecting various APIs up to it. So it should be, you know, hopefully fairly straightforward getting that up and running. So we'll see you in the next one. Take care.